Death be not proud.
What's up, you bundles of sticks? Holy Diver here, and I just know I needed to do another hobby ramble. I'm behind on this kind of thing, and let's see here. Let's start off by saying I'm close with my pike and shot finally. I'm going to preview this. I'm not actually going to give you a full showcase, but I want you to look at that. That's 117 miniatures, 2 regiments of infantry, 3 regiments of cavalry, 12 strong each, and then you got 1 commander there in the center. That's my pike and shot so far. There you go. Not showcasing yet. No. Gotta get those guys up to snuff this weekend. Gonna paint 2 cannons. That'll bring me up to a model count of 125. And then also, I don't know if there are actual rules for these. I just saw them. I took some of the extra bits I had, and I made myself 3 Parliament Sniper stands right here. So gonna use those. If not, I'm just going to make them. That'll bring me up to 128 models if I can use them. But I was thinking about rules for these guys. I think once you get a unit within 6 inches, they've been had. They're just taken off the board afterwards because it's, what, 1 to 2? It's a group of 2 men versus 5 or 6 men. Not going to go over very well, especially in the time of buff coats and having a bad attitude. So there's that. I really do enjoy painting the pike and shot miniatures. And let's just take a look at some of the for King and the Cause. I mean, look at this, the Earl of Northampton. This one right here. If you're painting royalists, I mean, look at how easy that is to do. It's literally, it's going to be Iosan green and deep blue. Iosan green and deep blue with, you can get away with Astronomicon gray on the white parts. Leather brown, and then whatever hair color the guy's going to have. As a matter of fact, you can cheat this and just, you can make everyone, you can just go Xandri dust on all the hair, make everyone a blonde. Real easy. And then dwarf flesh. Then brown for the gun and everything. And then a little bit of strong tone. What, you're like 7 colors in with that? Or you can just spray paint these guys purple, give them blue pants, and go Richard Bagot. Or, you know, you got a lot of options with these guys. The King's Lifeguard Regiment, it looks like it's just corn red. Corn red, washed red, and then red highlight. Just all corn red for the King's Lifeguards. Very easy colors to do. I went with Samuel Jones on the 2nd Regiment. The black one right there, the one that looks more like the Pilgrims. And the Puritans right there, and I'll probably, if I do a 2nd Regiment of Infantry, it'll be Samuel Jones again, because I think the Earl of Manchester kind of, his units kind of represent the cavalry in the 1st unit of infantry that I painted. With that aside, I was thinking something else I can do on these rambles of mine is give some advice to young men, and I think that we need that now more than ever. So, if you're 16 years old and you don't think that school is really getting you anywhere, you're in high school and you're not fitting in and you think it sucks donkey balls, there's nothing stopping you from taking the GED equivalent, dropping out and getting a job, especially if your parents want to emancipate you and let you get that job. There's no shame in just going to work. You know, not everyone's made to go to college, but if you are looking for a career right now, become a traco operator. A traco operator. If you get on with an excavation company and you feel and you show up every day, you're worth a damn, you're willing to endure a little bit of discomfort, pain, nothing compared to the military, and you're actually able to work your way up and into the traco, you could be 24 years old digging basements and you've made the big time. Some companies will pay for you to have a pickup truck that drives you to your personal machine, out to the job. And the market is screaming for these guys. Some of these guys make anywhere from 30 to 45 bucks an hour, and you get a company truck to boot. That means you're never paying for gas. You're never paying for, maintenance on your own car. You got that thing that you can just basically drive to work, drive to the gym, and then drive home, basically, and you call in your miles. And then when it breaks, the company gives you a new one because you're worth a damn. So there's that. Other than that, there's a shout out I'd like to give. I have to make sure I get the name right. Excuse me here, you know. Let's see. God damn it. Fuck. And then of course I close out. Subscriptions. There we go. I still can't. I'm having a boomer moment here. I'm melting down. All right. Ranger Miniatures and Gaming. That is Andre the Giant's channel. Now, he served his country. So what you need to do is you need to go over to Ranger Miniatures and Gaming. You need to subscribe to his channel on account of, come on, he's only got 11 subscribers. That's dog shit. Come on, at least give him 50. Give him a hand. He makes some pretty decent content. Not to mention, you know, he's got a passion for gaming. This is a channel that's made by somebody who cares. A lot like that VK Vonketteringham guy. It's done by somebody who actually legitimately cares. You know, I was kind of on the brink, and then this guy comes from out of nowhere. Hey, why don't you paint up all this shit and play games with me? Okay. So, yeah, Ranger Miniature and Gaming. He's at the top of my channel thing. Don't forget to check out Grimcreeper. I'm going to have some reviews coming out very soon for that. I haven't forgotten that channel, but if you need material to listen to while you paint, I've got some decent videos on there, and I think that I've gotten somewhat better. I'm kind of like back down to the 10-minute mark again, which is really good, which is really where I want to be with reviews and everything. But yeah, that's Ranger Miniatures. And then other than that, this Ranger guy, he's got me, I'm going to be doing some more bolt action Marines, and that's going to be a separate ramble. I'm going to get some primer on these guys, and I'm going to get these guys painted up. This isn't all of them. I have like 9 more I still need to do. But I want to have full squads of guys because I'm at a huge disadvantage. There's just things I can't do because I don't have 6 shotguns. There's things I can't do because I don't have 6 BARs. There's things I can't do because I don't have enough modeled as is, and that's kind of how bolt action works. You can't just say he has it, but I definitely need to assemble 2 more SMGs, so I have 6 SMGs that are not non-coms and everything. And then I got to decide whether or not I need more half-tracks or jeeps. I gotta put together an army in there that'll make people, that'll make Jesus cry or something like that. I don't know. With that said, the Battle for Skull Pass is coming along very well. I have gotten the thing assembled, as you can see in the picture there, and I'm really doing the best I can with it. I've got to get some spackle. I've been real busy at work and real busy right here at this table, trying to what one of the dwarves is going to. I bought some dwarves, and then I darkened them up. I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to buy some dark tone. I put two tones of two washes of Army Strong Tone on them, and basically, don't know if you'll be able to see that, but I've got a decent camera and decent lighting down here for a reason. So that's an eBay rescue. They were really, really, really bright, and a lot of people think that dwarf miners are wearing have sleeves on. Truth is, they don't have sleeves on. If you look at the arm, they're not wearing sleeves, so they're just kind of like sleeveless, buff worker miner dudes. So yeah, I'm gonna go buy some dark tone, put it on these guys because they're just way too bright. Plus, he put like, I don't know what he did to this, but he gave them white and blue sleeves. So I'm just going to paint over the white and blue, wash the candle a little bit so that the candle wax is darker, because if it's melted wax, it's only natural to me that it would have shit stuck in the wax. A couple of the other ones I painted didn't even have the candle on them, but that'll give. And then I've got dwarf cannons I got to work on, and I got to get the second unit of crossbows up. But hopefully, when I do that, some of my friends who want to participate in this will maybe paint some shit that they want to see for the dwarves. Like, I don't own an organ gun, so if they'd like to paint an organ gun, they can paint it and bring it in for the battle. So they have that option that way. But I don't know how many people are going to show up for that. It could just me and Big Buddy Bradley and another guy who will play this battle out. But I want to do it. I want to do 6 battles. Each one just a little bit different objectives. I want to do 3 in 7th edition, 3 in 8th edition. And for that, I'm going to need a lot more dwarves. Both of them are going to have about 2,500 armies. I'm not loading up on tons of missile troops for the dwarves because a handgunner... A dwarf handgunner is really expensive. And night goblins themselves, very cheap, a lot of MSU, and it's not going to be very effective once that stuff comes over the table the second turn. So if I'm delivering wolf riders, I'm delivering spiders, I'm delivering goblin chariots, or I've got, especially in 8th edition, I've got, what do you call it, gigantic mangler squigs. You know, I might have 5 units that you've got to worry about that you won't be able to do anything about because you can't hit them or you can't kill enough of them. If I come over and spike your war machines with a unit of goblin wolf riders and there's a hero in the unit and I just finish off one war machine, and then I lose them, they've done their job. They've kept the war machine from shooting and they ate too. That's the whole point of that. So you kind of have to be careful there. You want to bring enough warriors, and I think the secret is you want to where you deploy your slayers and what you do with your slayers and how you support the slayers in a certain area. And if I do get some hammers, I gotta get another. I got these trays here. Oh, I'm just hovering. Grossly unprepared for this ramble. Oh, and then there's the last thing. Last thing that I'm doing. And let's see. We can get grab ass here. We'll bring these guys out. We'll bring the rest of the miners out that I got on an eBay rescue. So if I do, what do you call it? The hammers, I'm not going to park any characters with them. I'm just going to put them in a unit, bare bones. Leadership 9 stubborn. They're going to have a banner and a musician. They're not going to have a champion. They're just going to be out in a big old unit like this to kind of hem things onto the hammers. And see, the problem in 8th edition is they can only use their great weapon, whereas in 7th edition, they have the right to choose. So that helps them out there because they can be heavily armored down to a 3+ armor save, or they can use the great weapon if they so get the charge off and choose to use that great weapon on the charge, which is pretty detrimental to any enemy taking a charge from that because that's a bunch of weapon skill 5 attacks that hit on 3s most of the time and will wound on 2s because the dwarf special units like the Longbeards, the Ironbreakers, or the Hammers, or the Slayers for that matter, are all strength 4. I think only the Troll Slayer is strength 4, but they got to be on a big old 20 brick that goes 10 across for that. And then let's see here. I'm going to start repainting the rest of my Macedonian phalangites to have white linen armor. So I'm doing that. And then, as a matter of fact, these guys are going to go into clear coat tonight so that they're done and I don't have to worry about them. And this is an example, real quick, of getting shit done later. I painted these guys really quickly with metal, and they all had metal cuirasses and everything. The same. Let's just say they've got these iron helmets on, and it matched their armor, and the cuirasses were not linen. I since went over there and I just brought the cuirass to linen. When I really get serious, I can do one of these guys at night when I'm just fucking around down here doing nothing, and that's what I'm going to do next week. I'm going to get 10 more done next week so that I have a full 20. But I can clear coat these guys now because I never did. All I did was dust these guys off and get to the project again. So if you ever feel that you want something done but you don't have time to do it the right way, just do it the fastest way and then come back to it. You can always come back to it. Doing something easy like the armor on a Greek hoplite or a Greek phalangite, very easy to do. I'm going to leave the greaves on their feet. I'm going to leave those steel. I'm not going to do them in bronze. Just leave the shield in bronze. Because by this time frame, you probably did have steel greaves and you probably did have an iron helmet. So, I mean, it wouldn't have all been bronze. If you had better equipment, especially the actual foot companions themselves could have afforded iron for their headgear and everything, and especially a little get up like this. This is one of the helmets that I like. This wide open helmet. I don't know how well you'll see his helmet, but I didn't do any eyes on these guys. I am going to do a tutorial for hoplites very soon. Only problem with that is I built the hoplites last week. And the problem with that is I got to get to the... when I do it, I've got this camera that I'm using has to come over here. Light has to come down here. And then I have to film it in 4G. And then when I film it, I mean 4K. When I film it in 4K, I have to watch my time frames. I have to make a video that's anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. I don't want it to be an hour, and then I've got to wait for it to upload. And I have to wait for it to upload. And not to mention I have to wait for it to process before uploading. And sometimes when you do 4G, the lemon isn't really worth the squeeze, because if you don't get the kind of views that you want for the video, then it was never really worth it in the first place. Like the 40K video I made, I knew I wasn't going to get a lot of views on the thing, so I put my own little fucking caveat on that with meanwhile in Vietnam. I thought it was hilarious. Some people didn't think so. They turned it off and they're like, oh, I'm triggered.
Get dressed in the morning, I'm triggered. I take a shower, I'm triggered. I get in the car, I'm triggered.
In any case, it's just ongoing, but I want you to check out Ranger Miniatures and keep painting, keep playing, and stay metal for the most part. I'm about to enter my busy season. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is how lazy I am. I have a fully painted companion here, and all I have to do is put a spear in his arm. Let's see. I just have to fix this spear. That's it. That's all I have to do is glue this. I can't even do that, you know, because I'm tired. But you know, other than that, that's just about it. Let's take a look at these miners I did paint on the eBay rescue. Let's get these guys up here. Boom. Some of these are magnetized. Some of these aren't magnetized. Some of these have less static grass than others, but I think once they're all ranked up, they're not going to look too awful together. And you know, it's just come on, don't be stubborn. It's got two champions here. There we go. Let's see here. And then oh well, I have to re-highlight the what do you call it? The candle on him, and then that one's done because the candles are white. But you can see that the second rank doesn't have any candles in their helmets. Somebody chiseled them off, but I got them for $7. I got 7 guys for $1 each, so I'll take it. And yeah, there's 7 of them there, and that's what they look like from behind. Nothing spectacular. Done up very quick. I like the miners. I kind of like the idea of the tunnel fighting between Skaven, Night Goblins, Orcs, and Dwarves and stuff like that. I really do, because they all have their own flavor. The state-of-the-art tunnel fighter for the Dwarves is their Iron Breakers. Their Iron Breakers are the, you know, it's basically this dwarf in a suit of armor, and the armor's so good he can't just be shivved by a Skaven or a Goblin. You know, they've got to fight it out, and most likely the dwarf's going to win. The Night Goblin Fanatic is one of those things that they have for tunnel fighting. And then for tunnel fighting in the Skaven, I'm trying to think. I think it's Abominations or something like that. That they just send down a corridor going, it's the Eclipse, motherfucker. So there's that. But other than that, I hope I haven't taken too long on this. And stay metal, my friends. We'll see you in the next one.
Even you, puppy dog. Hey, you need to grow a sack!